Here we go. Good. There we go. We're up. We're up. We're up. We're up. Hey, folks. Hi. It's me. It's John Peasy. It's 8:02, and it's what is it? November 10th, and it's a great time to be here talking about the comics that of the past, and we have a great one coming up here later tonight. Hey, welcome to Cool Crap We Love, and you know I'm going to get right into this really quickly tonight because we have a special guest that I can't wait to bring on that I've never met before, but I know he's a very funny guy, and I'm not talking about Walt. I'm talking about Jimmy Shubert. Walt is funny in his own way and looks, but he's here tonight. So let me bring it on our co-master and co-worker of things, Mr. Walt. He pops Alito. Here he is. Walt, where are you? Come on in.
Boy, man, you just destroy me every week.
I'm not destroying. You know, I love you like a kid that I had with another color from a mom that I don't want to meet. Come on, come on.
Like a stepbrother that left home.
I'm sitting here a little flustered like this morning because we tonight rather. Well, it depends on where you are. But hey, how's it going? I heard you went golfing today, huh?
Yeah, I did. I went golfing with Eddie Clark, a mutual friend of ours. And I got to tell you something. I drank, and we went golfing for 10:40. I had a cup of coffee at about 8 o'clock, and then about 9:30, I had a headache, so I drank a Red Bull. And then at 10 o'clock, I drank another Red Bull, two of them for $6. And I got to be honest, by around 11:30, I was like this.
Really?
Yeah, really? I was flying. Literally, I was on like hole number 5, and I wanted to go back to the shop to get water to dilute whatever was killing me.
Get it all out. Get it out.
Flush it out. Yeah, so I felt like I had a hangover, so I had to do something about it.
So this is what you look like after a day of drinking and golfing with a migraine.
Yes, I didn't drink booze. I drank Red Bull, which might as well have been booze.
No, what Red Bulls. It's like a cup of coffee.
Got wings.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
I don't know, man.
I'm glad you had a good time. Hey,
I did. It was a beautiful day. November 10th, 72 degrees outside, beautiful sun, and keep that global warming coming.
That's the right, man. Look at this. I'm all pink. I was out there today. I walked 2 miles. I worked out with weights. I did all this stuff. I love being outside. I was actually really smelling the roses today. That's what COVID has taught me, to smell the roses. Right,
when you can smell good. And if you can't smell the roses, that means you have COVID.
That's right. Yeah, I saw you coming with that.
Wow.
By the way, so tonight we have a special. Let's see. What is the special that was? The Legends of Comedy.
Yeah. Jimmy's a funny guy. Jimmy used to be an outlaw of comedy in Sam Kinnison's posse, along with Carl LeBove and Mitchell Walters.
Who owes me $100? Owes me $200.
What?
He owes me $200, Mitchell.
Oh, Mitchell. Mitchell owes everybody money, from what I understand.
Yeah.
So Jimmy's going to come on. He was on King of Queens. He was one of the IPS drivers. So okay. He's a fun guy.
Excellent. Well, let's make it rock and roll. Let's bring it right in. We have a lot of. First of all, I love comedy. I love comedians.
So do I.
Most broken people in the world. It's the best people to hang with.
I grew up with comedy in my blood.
Right. We have people saying hello to us. Hey guys, communist Facebook had me in jail thanks to Biden.
Thanks, Dan Nav, for bringing up politics.
Yeah, that's what Facebook said to Dan. Biden. So let's bring up one of the first people here. Here it is. It's a hippo.
Oh yeah,
no, actually the first comedian. Let's see.
Who was that? Rosie O'Donnell?
Yeah, I remember writing a Rosie O'Donnell joke. It was the dummy used to say, I'm Rosie O'Donnell, and she got mad cow disease. It was a mad cow. That's how long ago. Holy damn. All right. Anyway, moving on.
When that was relevant.
When it was relevant. Yeah. Now I could reorganize it. So here's a comic who I never work with that everyone loves and likes.
Who is that? Is that
Bill Hicks?
Oh, Billy Hicks. Yeah. He died though, didn't he? Cancer or something?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, he worked like right through it too. But he was one of those angry kind of comics and always pushing the limits, crossing the line.
If I remember right with Billy Hicks was, a lot of people didn't get Billy Hicks, right? But he was a comics comic.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I
And
like him.
I was never like, I never bumped in, never hooked in. It was before my time a little bit, and but he was, you know, very revered. Now,
Yeah, I like Billy Hill.
guy who I grew up with, that actually one of the reasons why I'm into comedy is right here.
Don Rickles.
Right, Don Rickles, the old Jewish guy.
I saw him. I saw him in the Riviera, not the Riviera.
He was at the Riviera a lot, actually. His pictures were on the wall as you went to at the comedy club over there. I remember seeing his
pictures. It wasn't the Riviera. It was a comedy club down by where Circus used to be. It got knocked down. I forgot what it was.
Riviera. The Riviera Hotel is right directly across the street from Circus.
Okay, Riviera so maybe it was the Riviera.
Which was not.
I saw him. He was doing the same act that he's done forever. Hey, hockey puck. He'd pull up the Oriental guy, and he'd do he'd do all of that. You know, same thing. Only sweated at 85 years old.
I loved him. He was great. And one of the things I loved about him was the put down humor, was the interactive put down humor, which is something that today is becoming less and less attractive.
Oh, you can't do it now. No, can't do it now. You put somebody down, they'll sue you.
I do. I don't care. We do it anyway. But love him. Loved Rickles. And now here's a comic that had tremendous success.
Jay Leno.
Now, Leno was a really consummate. He was a great writer and comic, and really out there pumping it every day. He was for years in a row doing his stuff, and went on to do the Tonight Show. But Jay, you know, it was clean comic. I don't know. It depends on who you want to.
I've never heard him dirty. Never.
No, he was always clean, as far as I know.
I always wanted to see him. It was every time I was in Vegas, he was over at the MGM Grand, and I just never got to go see him.
Everybody said though he was one of these kind of comics that like he just write it and just piss it out, just pump it out, and he was like a comics comic too when he first started in the 80s or whatever. Well, not when he first started, when he was in the 80s at the height of it before the Tonight Show, and then kind of became, you know,
when he got the Tonight Show, he turned into a douche. Say it.
Hey, I was trying to keep it, you know, nice and clean, like a douche nozzle.
That's very, listen, you can't get any cleaner than a douche.
A douche nozzle? Speaking of which, so a couple of these I threw up that you didn't send me, but this one too, this is a great comic. I worked with him at the Riviera, speaking of which he was great.
It was the Star, by the way, it was the Stardust, not the Riviera. The Stardust is where I saw him.
I don't even know if I've been in the Stardust. I've passed it. I never been.
Yeah, it was on the other side of the street, but all the way down by Circus, on the same side of the street as the Circus.
Did that get knocked down as well?
Yeah, that's gone.
See, if you didn't spend a day of drinking and golfing and having Red Bulls, you would be right there. You'd be right on top.
I'd be right on it. I knew it was Stardust.
Yeah, who's this guy?
Is that Mitch Hedberg?
Very good. That's good, because you didn't know that was coming up here at all.
Mitch Hedberg, yeah. Mitch Hedberg. I used to love Mitch Hedberg because in the background he would have the bass going, the music of the bass, and he would have such observational comedy. Like he's the guy that, you know, he would say, "How come there's no button on an escalator, but you can go up in an elevator?" You know, he would always come up with something like that.
And now I'm thinking about the joke I wrote last night about jazz and jizz, but I can't do it here. Yeah. Hey, by the way,
you really already just did.
No, it was really funny. It's a funny joke. I wrote a joke about jizz. All right, so here you go. People saying, "Hey, he was the best." Charlie Fisher.
Who?
My kind of guy. Great guest on Carson.
See, they're back on Rickles. They're still talking about Rickles.
Screw this piece of shit. It's ruined comedy. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. You're right.
Hey, who's Brian Papaleo?
That's my brother. What's he saying?
He's the last man stand 6.
What does that mean?
I know that's a cryptic message from QAnon. I have no idea what that
is. My brother's in QAnon.
And now here is Latifah. I don't know how you say that. I don't want to ruin your name, Latifah. It's Ajabad.
Oh, yeah, she's pretty cool. She loves everything we do, even my personal stuff.
Well, again, I don't want to make her name correct. Is it Ajabad? I would assume, yes.
Ajabad. Bate.
Okay, works for me. Michael Tanner, he was on with Jackie. The rice is good when you want 2,000 or something. And Vino Lini from Florida, because he was pushing the Braille bottom.
I see. It's really, really cryptic stuff going on.
I don't get that, Mina. You have to explain. Anyway, he was a great comic. I worked him at the Riv. Great guy, really cool, easy to get along. And you're right, he played that jazz in the background. It was awesome.
Yeah.
There's somebody else I threw in that you didn't. I'm shocking you throw.
I like it. Boom. Go ahead. Is that Bernie Mac?
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't look like Bernie Mac, but it does.
Little Bernie Mac is.
Bernie Mac. Yeah, he's dead now, isn't he?
Yeah, never had the pleasure of meeting him at all.
But any chance that you could have brought somebody on that was still alive?
Well, there you go. Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle. See, now, I've never been a big fan of Dave Chappelle.
Now, here's interesting. I was not a huge fan of Dave Chappelle. All of his ride of success up.
Right.
But the last special that he did.
I got to watch it. I never did.
It was great. What are you drinking again? Alcohol or
Bai.
Oh yeah, that's our new sponsor. Isn't it?
It's our new sponsor, Coconut Bai.
I love Bai. Bai coconut water. Oh, buy it.
Love
now.
it.
It's a beautiful thing. Yeah. So Dave Chappelle, not the special he just did the way it was outdoors. It was just something he did on a smaller scale outdoors during the pandemic over the last 3-4 months. But prior to that, he had done a special that was on HBO, and he did a lot of stuff about LGBT and lesbians and all kinds of stuff.
See, but for some reason, he can get away with it.
Yeah, but you know something? If you listen to the material and what he did, it was brilliantly crafted. I got to give him kudos because was
it on Netflix?
Yeah, it was on Netflix. Yeah, I think so. But the beauty of it, if you just listen to the material and the way it was crafted, he really knew how to like weave it in and out to not make it about you, but to make it about him. He actually redirected everything towards himself. So it wasn't like, hey, you this, you're that, you're that. He turned it to him. It was, I got a big kudos. It was.
See, I could do that. I could make everything come back to me. But then after the show, I'm going to tell you that I really meant it about you.
Well, well, speaking, coming back on you. Yeah. Okay. Stephen Wright.
Stephen Wright. Now, Stephen Wright was great. He was great back then when he did his stand-up comedy. But when he started doing like
songs,
yeah, it was just, he wasn't a great actor. I think he was in the Warriors. Wasn't he in the Warriors? He was like the DJ in the Warriors. And maybe it wasn't the Warriors. It was another movie he was a DJ in. And but when he was great when he did like I wanted to call you back, but I couldn't call you back because I bought his phone that had no fives.
Right.
So that it was funny that act, but he wasn't a funny person to me, I didn't think.
His material is again, he's a character driven comedian. He's a character comic. So, and he has a huge persona, and that kind of persona with that smart kind of material just plays so well. I think he's brilliant. I think he's a brilliant comic. I like him a lot, and not my style, but I think he's a great comic.
Yes, the same with me.
Who's like that too? Judy's old boyfriend, great writer.
Oh, Emo Phillips. Yes.
He's more underground. Like to this day, nobody's really watching him as much as like I would think. He's not as popular as he used to be. But
Stephen Wright?
No, Stephen Wright's still out there popping it out. I mean, I don't know about during the pandemic, but he's still doing really well. I'm talking about Emo. Emo is like an underground comic, and to me, he's one of the most brilliant writers around. I mean, I look at the material that he writes, and it's like this guy. I want to write like that. I mean, that's to me, it's tight.
I would never write like Stephen Wright.
He's
why would I ever write like Stephen Wright?
Character comic again. He's like, oh
yeah. But once he started getting into acting, Stephen Wright, I think
I get you.
Downhill.
I'm with you. Let's see. Let's bring up another one here real quick. Okay, Dave Chappelle. Now, here's some of the ones that you put up here. This is kind of weird. Now, all right.
I tried to pick obscure guys.
You did. Well, you got obscure.
Go ahead.
Tell me if you can hear this, okay? I'm going to give you, and then you'll know who it is. I'm going to give you a little sound here, clip, and then you tell me if you can hear it. Here's the sound clip.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know.
Come on.
Does it say it right on there?
Oh, well, it should.
Do it again. Do it again.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Paul Lynn.
Halloween, everybody.
Was that Paul Lynde?
Oh, shit. Nurse Todd, call maintenance. I have sperm all over my desk again.
One time he was on the Munsters. He was a doctor, but he was blind. Like he couldn't see in his glasses.
I don't remember
and
that.
Herman he had very hairy hands, and he'd be like, is that your doggy? Is that your doggy?
Damn, you're pulling that out deep. That's a deep, like as you're saying that, it's like it's coming in my head. I'm starting to see that picture with the hands. I'm like, oh damn, I forgot that. That's a deep buried dusty memory with cobwebs all over it. Oh my goodness.
What was he famous for though?
Well, it would be the Celebrity Square, Hollywood Squares.
He was the center square on Hollywood Squares with Peter Marshall. And if you didn't know Peter Marshall's real name, his real name was Pete Lecoq, because his son used to play
I didn't know that.
Yeah, his son used to play for the Chicago Cubs. His name was Pete Lecoq also, and everybody knew it was Peter Marshall's son. Pete Lecoq.
I had no idea. Okay.
Yeah, you can look that up. Everybody look that up. Somebody look it up. But yes, but Paul Lynde was awesome, and the Hollywood Squares was all a setup.
Yeah, it was.
But when he was doing that, he's like, "It's your doggy."
I forgot all about that. That's so funny that you bring that up. Let's see. Now you got some offbeat people here. I mean, I don't know why you put these in here, but I'll show them anyway. So, okay. Now he's not offbeat.
He's not offbeat, but these are people we would never talk about. Like everybody could talk about Jay Leno, but how many people remember Nipsey Russell?
And he would do all the rhymes, right?
The rhymes.
And
rhymes.
I remember him mostly. See, he was popular before, but I remember him, of course, from the Gong Show.
Yes, he was on there with J.P. Morgan.
What happened to J.P. Morgan? We should get her on.
She can't still be alive, can she?
You think so? Somebody Google that. Is J.P. Morgan alive? Yeah, that's interesting.
It would be Nipsey Russell, J.P. Morgan, and Jamie Farr.
That's right. And Jamie Farr, we've spoken to already, didn't we? He's alive, but doesn't want to do it or something. Or
he doesn't want to do the show because he's still got a flip phone.
Yeah, right. Well, that's okay. I mean, someday people will be asking us to send our virtual selves to them for something, and we'll be like, "I'm sorry, I only have regular internet." Yeah. I can't do it.
Now, Nipsey Russell, you can get him confused very easily with Flip Wilson.
You think so?
Yes.
I don't
now,
see
Nipsey
that.
Russell. You know what Nipsey Russell was always on? Like, remember that show Tattletales with Bert Convy, where they'd have a TV in the front, and the wife would be on the TV facing the audience, and he'd be behind it facing the audience, and they have to ask questions. I want to do a show on game shows that we used to watch.
Yeah, definitely on game shows. I love guys. To this day, I even enjoy. Do you know? Last week, I watched several of what's his name? With the little bird. I guess the secret. Danny win $100.
Oh yeah, I was watching that today.
I loved it.
Marks.
Yeah, Groucho Monk. What was the name of that show though?
That was whose line is it anyway? That is right now. You Bet Your Life or something.
That's it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you can pull them out really good. See, if you stop drinking and stop taking Red Bull, how much more effective would you be? Just think about it. Yeah, I was watching, and here they go. Your brother brought up wasn't he Geraldine?
That was Flip Wilson. Was Geraldine.
And by the way, he was huge in the 70s when he had his own television show. He used to do that woman. My name is Geraldine. Yeah, and he'd come on.
What was her boyfriend's name?
Oh, hello.
My name is Geraldine, and this is my boyfriend, Killer.
That's right, Killer.
Killer.
Wow, Yaga Zuzim. Who's that, Rob?
I don't know. That's probably some saying that somebody said.
It's a really weird night, isn't it? Nipsey on the car 54. Uncle Arthur on Bewitched. Yes, he was Uncle Arthur on Bewitched.
Oh, that was Paul Lynde, I think.
Yeah, he was Uncle Arthur. Yeah, he played Uncle Arthur. Anyway, Nipsey was a great comic.
But these are great pulling these out, man. Anybody could pull out Dave Chappelle.
I know, but you see all the places that we start zooming in and out of when we come into.
That's what this stupid show is about.
Right all over. All right, now why'd you bring this up? Now this is one of my favorites, of course, but why you brought it up? I'm surprised.
Abbott and Costello,
I
man.
love Abbott and Costello. Now everyone loves Abbott and Costello unless you're a woman, because then you don't like Abbott and Costello. You don't like what? You don't like Star Trek. You don't like. I mean, for some reason, women don't like those things that guys like. For some
They didn't like Abbott and Costello. There was nothing better than getting up on a Sunday morning, eating your breakfast, somehow not going to church, pocketing the money,
killing the cat, using the blood. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then you come home, and at 11:30 on Channel 11 was Abbott and Costello, and it went right to 1 o'clock.
And he was from Paterson, New Jersey, actually.
Yeah, Lou Costello.
There's a statue of him in Paterson.
Is that right?
Yeah, and one of the things I loved the most was the shows were all great, especially long, but the one I enjoyed the most was remember they used to have like a 22-minute long version of it that used to be on
TV show.
Yeah, Abbott and Costello show.
That was Mr. Fields. Mr. Fields was their landlord.
And my favorite bit was when he owes them the rent, and they write on the wall 7 + 7 + 7.
7 times 3. What is it? Seven times.
I don't remember what. I just remember
7 times something was 28.
Yeah, it was so silly. And I remember trying to figure it out on paper, it was like, wow, this really works. You could get over on people like this.
Yes. Or when they used to do the lemons underneath the glass, and there was a hole, and the lemons kept falling under. And Lou Costello's looking underneath the table. He sees, he goes, "We got a fruit stand under there."
And what about Mr. Fields, and what was the woman's name that the beautiful woman, blonde? Yeah. And then there was Botchagaloop.
Yeah, Mr. Botchagaloop.
Mr. Botchagaloop.
Mr. Botchagaloop, and wasn't there a cop?
Stinky.
Stinky was he was Joe Besser though, wasn't he?
Joe Besser used to win the lollipop. He would go, "Stop! I'm gonna hit you."
Wasn't he like one of the Three Stooges?
He was like a gay boy it's 1960, and then they
couldn't say that then.
No, you couldn't. And then they had Mike the Cop.
Mike the Cop,
the big Irish.
That was a great show, man.
I can watch it right now and still laugh my ass off. It's really funny. There you go, Hillary Borks. See, Richie's in Florida. He remembers all this stuff.
Who's that? That must have been the lady.
That was the lady. That was the term, right? He would go, I'll harm you. I'm gonna hit you right now, which is almost like Paul Lynde, isn't it? If you think
Stinky was Paul Lynde.
We got to do a whole show on just that.
On that show?
No, just the
Abbott and Costello.
Yeah, just a whole show on that. I mean, just
my God.
Dave Merlin goes, was Rip Taylor on the Gong Show? Yes, he was.
Yeah, he was. Sure,
he was. Now, Rip Taylor, I had spoken to several times.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was a big fan of that kind of humor because it was offbeat, silly, throw it up in the air. He
was another one that was flamboyant. Yeah.
1-2 punch, 1-2 punch, 1-2 punch, 1-2 punch. It was beautiful humor.
But he always threw confetti. That was his gig.
That was the whole thing. Lewis, you don't want to play. Yeah, right. You don't want to play with me anymore. I'm going to tell Brooke. Yeah, I know he spelt it wrong, Richie. We know. I realized that you're typing too quick or probably using Siri. Anyway, this was great.
Yeah. And, I knew we'd had some fun with them.
I know, but when you think of comedy, I don't think of them as comics. I think, it's different.
Comedy. They're comics. What would you consider them? They're comedians.
They were vaudevillian comics, yeah.
Yeah, so they're comics.
They came out of vaudeville.
Who else did I put? What other obscure guy did I put up there?
Oh, this is not this is okay. Not obscure.
Bob Newhart.
Great. And he was a really clean, intelligent comic, social issues, relationship,
couple shows.
Yeah, great show. Back in the day.
Great show. One of them ended with the dream. It was a dream. The whole show was a dream. Remember that?
No, I wasn't a big fan of watching the television show.
Oh, they had the Bob Newhart show, that last one he had. Right. And the entire show, at the end, he woke up next to his wife, and the entire series was a dream.
Sounds like my life. And then there's
See, he's offbeat. I loved Andy Kaufman.
So did I. I really did.
I got a great story about Andy Kaufman that I swear that somebody take a copy of this. Keep this forever. Because I believe Andy Kaufman was the kind of guy that would fake his death in 1988 or whenever he died, 1986 or whatever it was, and then in 2026 come out and just go before the audience and go, ta-da!
Well, that's what they all claimed. There's a lot of people claiming that he didn't die, and this, yeah, that he moved away, changed his name, did all of that, and you know, there's
he's
a couple
crazy enough to pull it off. And then, you know, he had that whole thing with Bob Zamuda where he put a heckler in the audience who was his best friend, and he was repeating his act after it, and they got into a big fight and a fist fight.
And the thing
Bob Zamuda out.
What's the thing? The thing I remember the most is I'm here to save the day.
Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse. It was a great bit. Funny.
He used to have a guy that used to come out, Tony Clifton. He was Tony Clifton, this big lounge singer. And you think your puppets were nasty? This guy was really nasty to the people in the audience. And the beauty of it was when he died, everybody knew it was Andy Kaufman. But when he died, he started coming out again. Tony Clifton came out and did shows after Andy Kaufman died. And it was actually Bob Zamuda who was doing it.
That's what I remember hearing. Yeah, I knew Bob Zamuda, Andy's best friend. And, you know, Bob Rumba knows Bob Zamuda, too. They were apparently was from Chicago. His brother said,
I believe that.
Rob Castelli says his brother says not true. So he's really dead. Oh, Michael Tanner's from Hollywood. Hollywood.
Who said that he's really dead?
Bob
Zamuda?
No, Rob. Yeah, let's see. I knew Bob Zamuda and his best friend. No, it was Rob Castelli said it's not true.
His brother said it's not true, but that would be part of the act.
Yeah, but
the brother goes along with it.
This many decades later?
I'm telling you, that's what makes it brilliant. And he's going to come out.
Be the biggest thing. It'd be almost like the Biden-Trump election would be the biggest thing ever.
What about Elvis? Let me throw this at you. Elvis. Yeah. Elvis died in what, 1977?
Oh, I don't know.
He'd be about 82 years old, 83 years old right now.
Yeah.
If Elvis wanted to kill himself, you know, fake his own death, he could literally walk down the streets of Vegas and nobody would even know it was him. They would just think it's another Elvis impersonator. Hey, you look really good. You really look like him.
Yeah, but he'd be an old Elvis now. But
back in 1978, 79, 80, 84, he would have been just like a regular Elvis impersonator.
True.
And I don't know. I buy into every conspiracy theory, man.
Yeah, me too. As a matter of fact, behind me there's this alien right now.
Watch out for him.
He's an alien. His name is Jesus. He's cutting my lawn. So this guy, Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal. Now a lot of people know him as a TV performer, but he's a comedian.
Yeah,
who was picked to be on Soap.
Yeah,
as the gay brother. What was his name? Jody David, Jody Dallas.
Yeah.
Jody Dallas, and he had a career that took off.
But you know, when I was a big fan of Soap because I'm a ventriloquist, and back in that time, Jay Johnson had done Soap, and that's how I became. That was one of the reasons I just loved the ventriloquism. And I remember hearing after that thing ended, him on interviews saying that he was really concerned about being typecast, and he never thought he'd really get out of that typecast of the gay guy on Soap. He never thought, and then he went on to become tremendous. I mean, he went on to be, you know, so huge. So it just goes to show
throw Mama from the Train, City Slickers, the Meg Ryan, Sleepless in Seattle, or whatever that was,
and the
Harry Met Sally.
Yeah, Saturday Night Live bits and the stand up that came from it, and everything was really awesome.
He used to do that all too. You know what I hate? The two cops. You know what I hate? When you take a cheese grater and you rub it on your thighs. Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah. He was great. He's great. And
let's do one more, then we bring Jimmy on.
Hey, I'm ready. Jimmy's going to be eating so much Chinese food by the time we get on. I'd be so bloated. I can't believe he's hanging out in a comic with 3 other comics eating Chinese food.
Who's the other 2? I know it was Richie Minervini. Who's the other one?
There, and he said, I forget whose house he said it was. Somebody. We'll find out. All right, so real quick, let's see. Boom. I don't know who this is. You put this on here.
John Campanera.
I don't know him.
Well, I only put him on because I'm friends with him on Facebook. Oh. And I'm going to tag him in this.
Plagiarism?
Plagiarism. No, John Campanera was on a show with Drew Carey called The Good Life.
I don't know this guy. I never saw
Oh yeah,
his act or anything.
funny. All right, get rid of him.
Funny comic?
He's very funny. He has that voice like this. It's he's a big Yankee fan. That's how he talks all the time. But very funny on The Good Life with Drew Carey before Drew Carey was Drew Carey.
Okay, well, I did meet Drew Carey in Vegas with Jackie Martling that night back in the day, and Drew Carey got on stage at the Riviera at downstairs and started jamming with the band, and the whole place went bananas. He went upstairs, and then Jackie went up. Everyone was like, we're playing music in the middle of a lounge in the Riviera downstairs. No, I was just young at the time. I felt honored to be around these guys. And I asked Jackie, Jackie came over, and then he invited me upstairs to his suite at the end. And
don't tell me. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know what happened.
He was smoking pot and he had his dick out.
I got my dick out.
No, actually, he wasn't drinking. He was really doing the right thing back in the day. I'm not kidding. I was there.
Oh,
I saw it.
Right. I believe you.
I saw a woman try to push her daughter onto Jackie. He pushed her off. I'm serious.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was on the money. All right. Anyway, real quick. Hey.
Dice Clay. One of the funniest guys back in the day, sold out Madison Square Garden.
Unbelievable.
Guy was awesome. I saw him probably about 4 years ago over at the Paramount Peekskill, which I put you in. And I got to tell you something. The guy was still funny.
He is still funny. And I saw him. I met him again. And actually, I worked with him at Pips Comedy Club in Brooklyn, New York, back in the 80s when he was just coming up. He
wasn't anything back then.
This is when he already started getting really popular, and he actually came off stage. He was doing new material about dogs, and he was going on stage talking about, and it was sucking bad. He comes back off the stage just before I go on, and he punches a hole in the wall in the back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I remember telling the guy Angel in the back kitchen, "He said, Angel, you should take that wall, take a snapshot of it, have him sign it, and keep this because this would be like memorabilia." Anyway, I saw him back in Vegas after I did America's Got Talent. I was in Vegas. I went and saw him, and I got free tickets. Me and another comic, and we just hung out and watched it, and met him again. And he was great. He kicked ass, and everyone wanted to hear all the old stuff, and he wanted to do all the new stuff, But he was great, and he was from Brooklyn, Jewish guy, real name Silverstein, I think, right?
Yeah, Andrew Silverstein.
Yep. What a memory. Anyway, more importantly, you and I are just babbling old fools.
We're nothing. We are nothing compared to this next guy.
Yeah, this next guy's been around. I mean, you want to set it up, or actually, no. I wrote some notes here about.
Go ahead. Let's see what you got, and I'll correct.
Wait a minute. That's my jizz notes. The jizz notes. All right. That's last night. So Jimmy Shubert is a stand-up comedian from Philadelphia, which I didn't know, and is now living in Los Angeles. But right now, we're going to talk to him in Florida. He's known for being.
He doesn't live in California. He left it.
Well, not according to his bio.
No, he calls it California, and he moved to Florida. That's why he's down there. He lives there now.
Good for him. That's what I'm going to. I'm going to have to move. I'm either moving to Rapid City, South Dakota, Texas, or Florida. So, well, I don't know what that means, though. So Jimmy Shubert, originally from Philadelphia, he's known as being part of the Sam Kinnison's Outlaws of Comedy. And he was a 2014 finalist on Last Comic Standing for acting roles on shows such as King of Queens, Entourage, ER, and movies including Go, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And he's released 4 stand-up albums produced by Grammy winner Dan Schishel, including a 2020 release of Zero Tolerance, which it reached #1 on iTunes. They called Shubert an aggressive, not overly blue comic who has a caustic take on the world. And he's here tonight. Hopefully, after all
he was also in King of Queens, the guys that worked at IPS with Doug Heffernan. He was one of the guys that worked there, with Doug Heffernan. This
is the third guest that was on King of Queens. We have everybody from King of Queens.
Right. Everybody but the one that matters.
Well, I've never met Jimmy, but I know he has wonderful glasses. So you can bring him. Here it is.
He's got his Jack Benny glasses on.
Jimmy Shubert.
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you? You know, so funny. I was listening to you guys talk about Tony Clifton and Bob Zamuda. The first night that I worked at the Comedy Store as a doorman, that Tony Clifton was appearing, and this was about a year after Andy Kaufman's death, in about 1988, 89, And so everybody in the media thought that Andy Kaufman had faked his own death. It was like a year after Andy's death. And so everybody was there. And Tony Clifton comes up, he pulls up, and he's with this girl named Angeline, who's this Los Angeles famous chick with giant cannons. She's famous for absolutely no reason. She's dating a weatherman who puts billboards all over LA. And so Tony Clifton goes running in with her. Camera guys are following, and they think it's Andy Kaufman. And I swear to God, he comes out and he does about 15 minutes. He flicks a lit cigarette at somebody, throws a joke at somebody, starts calling them cocksuckers. Next thing you know, people start heading towards the exits, and the show was fucking over. And, and I go, welcome to the Comedy Store. That was my first night as a doorman. But that is legitimate. Bob Zamuda, who I'm friends with, and Bob, has kept that tradition of doing Tony Clifton live, which, it is very aggressive in your face. I mean, and there was a fuck you, shut up, flicks a cigarette, throws a drink, go fuck your mother, you cunt. I mean, it was just like this zero, just the zero. He does the immensity of the fucks he does not give. I cannot tell you.
He got thrown out too on Paul Previnya's The Green Room, the Green Room show that he did on HBO. Yeah. He got thrown out of there.
Is it even a Tony Clifton show? If the show doesn't end early or he gets thrown off the stage, is it even a Tony Clifton show?
So you were a doorman? You were a doorman in LA at one of the comedy clubs?
Yeah. Well, it's so funny. God, I got there in like 85, 86. I was a doorman there. Obviously, they just did that great Showtime documentary done by Mike Binder about the world famous Comedy Store. I'm in episodes 3, 4, and 5. Cool. That's where I started as a doorman. I showcased for Mitzi, and that was like her process. You start there as a doorman. You watch the best comedians in the country, Shandling, Pryor, Rob Williams. I mean, I got to watch everybody work out. Carlin would come in. It was just really like a college, and you just got to watch the best guys in the country. It was phenomenal. And awesome. You guys also were talking about Bob Newhart, but Bob Newhart, I don't know if you guys know, but Button Down Mind actually saved Warner Brothers Records. They were headed for bankruptcy, and Button Down Mind with Bob Newhart saved the fucking whole label, because at that time people were doing cocktail parties. They would all stand around and play Bob Newhart's album, and so it became a huge fucking hit, which also bailed out United Artists, and they turned it around, and it's all thanks to Bob Newhart. So
wow,
a lot of people don't know that, but some,
see, I didn't know it.
I do remember people playing Bob Newhart albums. I do remember that being.
Well, he had the kind of act that lent itself to an album. I really do think that, stand-up comedy is an art form that has to be consumed live. I think you can watch people's specials and stuff, but I think when you're there watching it live, I don't think there's anything like it. I really do. I think, obviously,
I agree.
I think it's definitely an art form. Like it's like Broadway. You have to go see it to believe it. It's phenomenal, And
totally agree.
When you're watching people that do it at a high level, as well.
Have you been doing any virtual shows? I've been doing virtual shows, and even though I've learned how to do it, you can pull it off. It's not the same beat that to me. Yeah. To me, it's like you have to constantly have a great, and you need that live audience to play ping pong.
It's not stand-up comedy. I don't give a fuck what you say. Stand-up comedy is what stand-up comedy is, and that's what it is.
Totally agree.
And we have this pandemic, which is bullshit. It was a pandemic. No, it was a pandemic all along. I don't want to get political, but I'm just saying, now you know why we all had to stay at home, because they were fixing to steal an election. But don't get me started. That's a whole other ballgame.
And he's wiping his mouth, Chinese food from his mouth. By the way, one thing about Chinese food, you got to be careful. It makes these little white plastic things grow out of your head.
Yeah, believe it or not, it's the MSG. It comes out your ear holes.
It's from China.
Yeah. Now, Jimmy, you were one of Sam Kinison's Outlaws of Comedy.
I did.
Give us a little insight on Sam.
I did. I toured with Sam for about 5 years. We did 70 city tours. We did 30 city tours. We were traveling on a giant tour bus all over I remember when I was a little kid, and I used to put my matchboxes in the dirt. To me, the thing that always appealed to me was just getting in a fucking trailer and just driving all over the country. And really, for so many fucking reasons. We got to play these old, great vaudevillian theaters that have been around since the 1800s. That was cool. I mean, touring with one of the most controversial comedians in America at the time, and he was one. I mean, he was the first guy that I think did it like it like at that. Like, you know, Steve Martin did it, but like Kinison kind of resurrected this thing, you know. But you talked about Bill Hicks too, but I think Sam Kinison and Bill Hicks are probably two of the most influential comedians on the generation of comics that came after them.
In those decades.
Yeah, well, like
how's your liver from all of that?
Well, my liver's fine. I mean, hey, look, I was a young guy at the time. I mean, I was a kid, and thank God, because it really was like, it was mayhem and madness, and my guardian angel has 3 sets of wings. I mean, it was fun for me to do it at that age, but I don't. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, and certainly, just say no to drugs, kids. But I had like the greatest fucking stories. Like, I remember when
Bring it on.
Sam was trying to clean up his act. He was going to AA, and he had like 88 days in AA, but he loved the Rainbow in the Rainbow Room off of Sunset, and he loved to. They had great pizza and they had great chicken soup, and so we would go in there and eat. But that was also the epicenter for sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And we were at a meeting that morning, and both of his sponsors, one was Ozzy Osbourne, and the other was Steven Tyler. Good luck staying sober with those two guys. Looking out for you. But so we were sitting there, we're eating. Next thing we know, we look up, and here comes fucking Ozzy Osbourne, and he's got a Dr. Seuss hat on, like one of those fine Waldorf hats. I could tell he's hammered. I go, holy shit, it's Ozzy. He's hammered. He was in a fucking meeting this morning. They go, Sam. Next thing you know, we're in the study bathroom in the back of the kitchen in the Rainbow Room doing bumps with fucking Ozzy. And I look at fucking Chris and I go, yeah. He goes, hey, I was sober for 88 days. And I said, fuck it. I already have a keychain. So Sam gets one bump in him. He calls his guy, Artie. Artie pulls up in the limo out front of the fucking Rainbow Room. I jump in. I'm sitting on a side chair. Sam gets in. Ozzy gets in. And the blow dealer is sitting between me and Ozzy. And Ozzy's fucked up, man. He is fucked. And he looks at the guy and goes, do you believe in evil? Do you believe in the power of the dark forces? Do you believe it? I go, oh, fuck. And the blow dealer's freaking the fuck out. It's Ozzy Osbourne. He goes, I just try to stay positive. I try to stay upbeat. I don't try to get and Ozzy goes, that's a shame, because you're going to have a series of very bad dreams for the next few nights. Like, apparently, Satan can't control his drinking and drug problem, but he could curse your fucking life. And the blow dealer dropped off his package and ran out of the fucking limo. I'm sure he probably didn't sleep for the next 3 nights, but it was.
Wow.
But I mean, it was just like, but I mean, it was fucking crazy. I'm just glad I was a kid, man. I'm glad I was able to fucking outgrow all that fucking stupid shit. I mean, man.
Now Jimmy pulls a muscle getting out of bed.
Well, the other day I got out of bed. I see something getting off the mattress out of the corner of my eye. Turns out it was my scrotum. Now listen, you gotta watch out. You gotta be careful. You're getting older, so I had my fun. I had my fun. I got it all taken care of. So,
right, Jimmy he's one of the best comics to hang out with. I mean, we did a gig over in Peekskill. Me and Jimmy we were there, and Jimmy, remember when that one comic walked on stage while the other comic was filming?
Oh yeah.
Like the comic comes back to me and he says, "What the hell was that all about?" I went back to Jimmy. Jimmy goes, "I don't think he's happy." Right?
Yeah. No.
That was fun.
So what about now? So Jimmy, you've been on the road like all your life, knocking it out, pushing. I understand the plight of it all. It's really rough. So like, what about now? What are you up to now? Like in this environment and
as you said before in my intro, I did just have the #1 selling comedy album on iTunes over the summer, which was great. Mm-hmm. I'm in a movie called Puppy Love with Hopper Penn, Sean Penn's kid, and a great actress. She just got an award. The film's actually in Germany at a film festival. It's doing the international circuit. It's in Spain. It's got Cowboy Cerrone's in it, Wayne Newton, Michael Madsen, Roseanne Arquette. It's really like an offbeat kind of independent, like very much like the movie Go. The guy who directed is named Michael Maxis. He's a great director, and so the film's killer, and I'm in that. So
it's good to hear that you can even hook in with this Hollywood liberal society when you come out talking about the pandemic and everything. It's like the last thing you want to do in that trailer is probably have that conversation with Sean Penn's son.
Well, no, look, I don't ever put any political posts on social media. It's not my business. What I believe is for me. I mean, I'll give you my jokes, and I'll give you my, I, unlike a lot of these celebrities, don't give a fuck. I remember as a little kid, I was about 8, and my grandparents came over to babysit me and my five brothers, so my parents could go out and vote. And then my parents came back, and my grandparents went out and vote. As my grandparents were leaving, I said, "Who are you voting for?" And my grandfather looked back and he said, "None of your business." And he walked out the door, but I never forgot that. It's none of your business. Right. It's none of anybody's business. It's none of anybody's business what I believe in spiritually. There's some things I got to keep just for me. We live in it like my whole life is lived out there. You're right. I've been traveling and touring and everything. And so the pandemic was enough for me to get me out of Los Angeles. I kind of moved to South Florida because I want to enjoy my fucking life. I want to be able to go outside. I want to be able to, just enough is enough. I got
you
some
guys
really
are all open.
They're open. I mean, you got to wear masks, but they're open. But my buddy Bruce Smirnoff, who was a comedy guy that I watched for many years at the Comedy Store in Los Angeles. He's fucking great. And Richard Minervini, who used to run the East End Comedy Club. I mean, those guys are both down here now. Don Gavin, who's a fucking Boston legend, is down
great
here.
Comic. Yeah.
My buddy Flip Schultz, Steve Simone. I just talked to my buddy Steve Byrne. Him and Theo Vaughn both moved to Nashville. Joe Rogan moved to Austin. Joey Diaz moved to New Jersey. I mean, I think what the pandemic has taught us is you don't have to, I don't think LA and New York are going to be the epicenters of comedy anymore as long as you tend to your social media and you continue to create content and create albums and create specials. It doesn't make a difference anymore. You can live wherever the fuck you want. So why not live someplace where, I mean, I actually lived in Florida before, like in 92 to 95 when Sam Kinison died. I was in love with this girl down here, and I moved down here to get out of Los Angeles because it was very sad. Sam was a buddy of mine. I knew him for 8 years, and just every time I went to do comedy, someone would bring it up, and it would just put me in a bad mood. So I just left, and it was one of the best things I ever did because I moved to Florida. I found my voice. I took all the influence that all the great influence, and I just worked on my stand-up. But what I loved about doing it in the first place, why I fell in love with doing it, and that's what I focused on, is making people laugh. I mean, look, a lot of people go into showbiz for a lot of different fucking reasons. I just always wanted to be a fucking great comedian. I wanted to be a great comedian. I thought everything else would take care of itself. And so I was lucky enough that Kevin James was able to, and Rock Rubin included me in some of the King of Queens episodes. I was lucky that, my management company included me in like 4 episodes of Entourage. And I had a really great manager who got me in 1 Hour Photo and Coyote Ugly and some of these films and stuff. And so I have a pension fund now, but I still love doing stand-up comedy. And so I just want to, one of the worst things about the pandemic more than anything else was that, shit, man, I just love doing what it is that I love to do, which is make people laugh. And so not being able to do that has really kind of put me in a fucking shitty mood. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I love the time off. I love not having to jump on a fucking airplane every week. I've enjoyed it for like the first 2 or 3 months, but I'm a fucking go-getter, man. Let's go. Let's go. Get your coffee. Let's fucking go. We don't live in France. All right. Bonjour. Comment allez-vous? Ça va? Get that fuck out of my way. I'm American. I drink coffee because I got shit to do. Let's go. Let's go. I mean, this fucking whole sitting on your couch, fucking beating off like Miggs from Silence of the Lambs. It's a little too much for me. I need human contact. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you guys called because I was just in a fetal position underneath the coffee table working on a callus on the roof of my mouth from a loaded revolver. Seriously, it's good to be here.
It's good to be.
Chinese food.
It's crazy.
He's eating Chinese food right now. Well, after that fetal position, please watch what you're eating. Hey, this is more important. This is interesting to me too, though. You've been on the road your whole life. You've been doing all this stuff a long time. And the first thing I start thinking of is that when you think about comics, a lot of people don't realize that we travel so much. You see so many. We've been in every state in the country. I was thinking about this today. We've been in every state in the country. We see people from all different walks of life, different kinds of people. You did get a different perspective on the average person who has a very small window or scope to see reality.
It really is
reality.
Yeah, it really is. It's like our art form. It's a study of the human condition. People watch all the time. And I've been lucky enough that I've been all over the world. I mean, I went to Afghanistan with Drew Carey, who invited me over for a Department of Defense tour. I've done the USO shows, the Armed Forces Entertainment shows, and the Welfare, Morale, and Recreation tours. All through, we went to Korea for 3 weeks. I went to Europe and Kosovo and all through Germany, entertaining the troops. It was something I fell in love with. I was able to go to China several times, probably 3 trips in China. I went to Beijing, Shanghai, Singapore, Macau.
China.
Where the virus came from. Well, this was before, you know what I mean? This was before. China's the most capitalistic, communist place I've ever fucking been. I went there, never again. Too many Chinese people. Holy fuck. Every time you stick your hand in your pocket, you're shaking hands with a Chinese guy. I'm serious. There is a lot of Chinese people, and they have zero personal space. They're coughing and sneezing. You're peeing in the urinal. One guy comes in and starts peeing in the same urinal. I go, what are we doing? Comparing schmeckles? Is it you want to see more?
Wow.
I know you're hung like a button on a fur coat there, but what are you trying to do? It's unbelievable. So, which brings me to my next point is that anybody who hates America or whatever America stands for has never been outside of this country. They have never left this country. They've been fucking, they like to think they know what the fuck they're talking about.
True.
I mean, but I've been to Honduras and some of these third world countries. I've been to Cuba and Panama, and you see somehow some people live, and you go, you gotta thank your fucking lucky stars you live in America. You don't, you know what I mean? And so, and funny, last October, Russell Peters had taken me to India. Russell Peters asked me if I went to, Russell was a judge the year I was on Last Comic Standing, and Russell, I'll stab somebody in the neck with a pencil if they say anything bad about this guy. Russell Peters is one of the nicest human beings in the world. He's been so decent to so many comedians and helped so many comedians over the years. I mean, he's a tremendous talent. I think he's fucking funny. I think not only, like, you go there, like 6,000 people come out to see Russell Peters. He sells out events. I mean, Russell Peters is a international fucking superstar. And it's funny because you go, and initially I thought they were Russell Peters fans. They were there because Russell was famous and he looked like them. But over the course of 10 years, the brilliant thing is that he's turned them into comedy fans. And so when he brings American comedians like me over to open for him, I mean, they go fucking nuts.
That's awesome.
What a great, and he shared his culture with me, and he shared his food with me, and his brother Clayton's a great guy. I mean, and his whole team that he's been working with for years. I mean, it was such an honor and a privilege to go over there and do that. We're supposed to go to Nigeria, but I mean, how does your
humor play in those countries, though? Your humor in those countries, how does it play?
What I do is I open it up a little bit and I make it a little broader.
Yeah.
I'm a very Americanized comedian. I'm very specific. In fact, the more specific you get, the funnier it is. But over there, you just kind of open it up a little bit, make it more accessible. And I slow it down, and of course you want to be the fish out of water. It's like how do you people do it? I'm white, the sun. I look at me. I can't go in the sun. I'll burst into flames. I need an SPF 180, and they just laugh at you. And
they love that.
But what a great challenge to go see if you're able to make people laugh whose language, their first language, isn't English. And comedy is a uniquely American art form. It's very much like jazz music, and so the way at least we do it here. So you think about that, you go, wow, can I do this? I mean, can I do this? Will they understand? I mean. And like an idiot, I go out and I do the fucking hamburger press bit which is fucking hilarious if you live in America. I go, like, I was at this fucking store, they selling a hamburger. It makes the perfect hamburger patty every time. And I'm like, every time, you fucking OCD nutbag, it's a hamburger. You roll it in a ball, you mush it, you toss it in the pan, we're having hamburgers. I don't need a device to teach me how to make the perfect hamburger, all right? And I do this fucking bit in India, and they're staring at me like I just fucking shit a penis because, you know, they don't eat meat over there. They don't eat.
Way to do the research.
Well, dude, I was on fucking planes for 24 hours. I was literally flying for 24 hours. Even if I did the research, I wouldn't have remembered it when I got there. It was like getting sucker punched in the back of the head. You're walking around doing fucking math problems. 2 + 2 is 9. 9 + 9 is 30. You're like jet lag beyond belief, and there's 6,000 people. And Russell goes, "Great," said Jimmy. I would stop doing a hamburger press. they don't eat hamburger here, you fucking idiot. They go, you learn. Who knew? They were just staring. They were like, what the fuck? You know, they got Netflix, they got Hulu, they watch all the same shit we do. You know?
But Russell, you could have told me about hamburgers. The funny thing is, we had about 6 shows. So by the time I got over there, I was like, you know, I would walk, I would go, hey, it's nice to meet you. I don't know who I talked to specifically, but one is I talked to had a problem with my computer a couple months ago. Which one is George Washington? I talked to one is, you know, because of customer service and stuff. So I actually wound up getting better and better, and then we wound up in Kuwait. We were supposed to go to Nigeria, and then we had to get the hydroxychloroquine and azithromycin and zinc, which is the COVID, the COVID emergency pack. Here we go.
But what I tried fish cleaner. No, but I actually had the cocktail. If that literally azithromycin and hydroxychloroquine, and I had zinc tablets. And if anything fucking happened, I was gonna be popping it. I put it all in a Pez dispenser, and I was just waiting. Am I hot? I would have taken them all. I would have put my strap-on anal thermometer on and took my own temperature. I'm not fucking around. I'm not getting this COVID shit like everybody else. Anyway.
That's hilarious.
You know, it's funny too is with this, Walt. I mean, you think about this. I don't know. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry, I interrupt you. Go ahead.
No.
I was done.
I was just going to ask him how it was to actually work on the King of Queens. I mean, we've had people that have done it, and
I got to tell you, I absolutely loved it. I loved, Gary Valentine's a really good friend of mine, and I've known him for many years. You know how you like share a foxhole with somebody in comedy, and you come up to one of these rooms. We used to do the Florida rooms a lot and hang out. And I've hung out with Rock Rubin and Kevin. They're all great guys, great Long Island guys, East Coast guys like myself. And we hung out with fucking Lenny Schultz one night at Uncle Funny's. And Lenny's legendary fucking nutbag.
Crazy Lenny.
More pigs, more shit, more pigs. And he would go up, and we hung out, and I laughed fucking nonstop, and we all went up and did each other's acts. And when Kevin, got the King of Queens, they included me, and I'll be forever grateful. It's funny, that show has found a bigger following in syndication. It's Kevin James is fucking hilarious, bro. You watch that show, it makes me laugh. It was probably one of the only blue collar comedy shows on television at the time. It had great writing,
right? Like a modern day.
It was a modern day honeymoon, but it was really well done. I mean, and Kevin, for a big guy, he always reminded me of Jackie Gleason because he was a bigger guy, but he was very he could do
agile.
Yeah, animated, very agile. He could do pratfalls and all that stuff. So yeah, it was awesome. It was great to be a part of it. And Rock Rubin, who was on the show, and he called me and go, "Hey, Shuby, if you're off this week, we could use you." I go, "Yeah." He would give me a heads up, which allowed me to reschedule my week so I could do the Queen of Queens, which I appreciated greatly because it got me going. It got me going. It got me in I got a pension now because of it, and all the movies go and Coyote.
Was Rock Rubin back in those days doing the bagel bit? I remember years ago.
Yeah, what's funny? He worked with who was the guy? Who was the other guy who used to do the bagel bit?
I don't know. I just remember. Rubin.
Bob Nelson. Me, Rock Rubin and Bob Nelson were working together, and he wouldn't let him do the fucking bagel bit. And I go, bro, who's the only guy who would not let you do the bagel bit? Bob Nelson. But I work with Rock a ton. I work with Gary a ton. I've hung out with Kevin and played golf with Kevin and everybody. And so, you know, it was really fun to be a part of. Leah Remini, I love Leah Remini. I think she's amazing. Yeah, just very fortunate, man. You know how it goes. Every once in a while, you need a little luck. You need to get lucky, and so I'll be forever grateful for that. And it got me to doing other stuff and other projects. But I always realized, you know, stand-up comedy was great, and that's what I love to do. But also this acting stuff gives you a means to an end. It gives you other. It helps you draw people on the road. It adds to your comedy. And I'm lucky. I've been fortunate enough to do a lot of it. I've been on Reno 911. I did a couple pilots that didn't get necessarily picked up. I was a lucky pilot.
It sounds like everything you just told us that you're on purpose. It's not like you're just doing this because I need to make money or I just want to tell dick joke. You're on purpose. What you're saying, what I'm hearing from you is that I just love this and I wanted to do it and I just go out and did it and threw it against the wall and hope that it would go well and just continue doing what I love. And what you loved, you gave to people, and it comes back to you in financial terms or movies or whatever else.
Jimmy, tell them about the episode of Cops you were on.
He wasn't on it.
But you know, you know, I did study. I went to a creative and performing arts high school in Philadelphia, and then even when I got to LA when I was younger, even though I was working at Dortmund, I was always studying acting. I was studying with Daryl Hickman and a woman named Karen West, who was a Broadway actress, and John Hama. And, you know, these guys are all like established actors, and it was legitimate stuff. I mean, you know, because I thought if you could audition well, then you could get jobs. I mean, you could figure out the acting thing once you got there. I know I had talent, but the auditioning thing, I mean, you had to really work on auditioning well because there's 300 guys auditioning for the same fucking role. And so what the fuck? I mean, I love doing stand-up at night, but during the day, I didn't have anything else to do. So let's work on some fucking.
It's true, but
some other shit besides my golf game, you know.
Being a comic is great, though, even for auditioning, because there's a natural charisma built in. You used to be on stage, you used to be in front of people, you used to relating to people on a certain level, you used to like lassoing people into whatever that you're doing. Whereas, like, the actual actor is playing the part, and we're doing this naturally every night. It's a whole different. It's apples and oranges.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to work with Sam, but I watched Sam, like, you know, we drive all night and get to a town, and then we'd unload the bags, and you know, I would kind of help out in that department, make sure everybody got their bags and stuff, and then Sam would come down and he'd have to go do radio to promote the show, and nobody else would want to go. And I was like, yeah, let's fucking do it. I mean, I was, you know, I had a lot of energy. I go, yeah, let's do it, man. Let's go. And I really learned how to do. You know, I met Brother Weeze, who's in Rochester, a guy I've known for 30 fucking years. I met Bob and Tom. There's a relationship, another relationship I had with those guys for 30 fucking years. I mean, for guys like me, you know, if you can do great morning radio, you can fucking sell out your fucking shows. Or that's the way it used to be anyway. I mean, you know, I wasn't starting a YouTube channel. I actually had to go in and fucking audition and beat out 300 other guys to get a fucking acting job. So I wasn't just starting with my YouTube channel. We're doing a YouTube channel, and we're going to just you know, whatever the fuck it is. You know, great. Yes, motherfuckers. Yeah, he's got 25,000 YouTube people following him. Yeah, motherfucker. I've been in national fucking television and fucking movies. All right, I just fucking suck my dick in the fucking window. All right, I give a shit.
Tell us how you really feel. Bring it on.
Who can't do a goddamn? Who can't do a YouTube channel? Turn on your camera. We're doing a YouTube fucking channel right now. I didn't have to audition. I just fucking put on my camera, put my microphones on. You know. But what I'm saying is, it's weird. I saw how it used to be, and I saw how much this industry has changed. It really has changed immensely. And you know, sometimes like. You know, a lot of these kids, I don't know, now I sound like a douchebag. These kids today with the weird math and the strange haircuts, you know, but you know, they put the social media cart.
You turn it into your father, bro.
You know, but they put the social media cart before the horse. Like they care about. So I go, well, you might want to watch the content, and you got to be careful with social media. One fucking bad tweet, bro, and you're fucking out. Sucking, and you're sucking cock, and you're sucking cock for drug money.
All right, Jimmy. So we're gonna do this show all over again. We're gonna try not to curse.
Listen, I'm here with Bruce Smirnoff and Richie Minervini. I'm with two fucking legends that I'm fucking ignoring because they're over here on the couch. I want to go hang with them.
And the only thing I want to know is Minervini eating healthy? Because we always would talk about eating
Richie
healthy.
Minervini's eating healthy. We just had some Chinese food.
Bring Richie Minervini on.
Richie, come over here for a second, Richie. Come over here. They want to see Richie Minervini. Bruce Smirnoff, get over here too. Come on. Come on.
Two legends.
Come on. Seriously, come over. Bruce Smirnoff. Yeah, put that in your the other ear. Put that in your Yeah. Look at this.
There you are.
Smirnoff. It is Bruce Smirnoff. What's up?
It's crazy.
Give me your face in there. Right there, right here. There's the camera.
There it is. Richie, how are you?
Right there's the camera. Look at it.
You look good. You look good and healthy.
I'm healthy, yeah.
You look good. Bruce, I never met. I'm sorry, never met. Bruce, but you look
Bruce
good.
Is a comedy store legend. Bruce, step
I
up
know.
here.
Never met.
Put that in
Hi,
your
Bruce.
That's healthy. That's healthy.
Oh, where am I?
Come over here.
There
we go. Hey.
Hello, Bruce.
Hey, Bruce.
Good to see you. Oh, there you go. We got all three.
There you go. Look at that angle.
Look at that angle, huh?
Look at that. That's a lot of Chinese food right there.
That's a lot of Chinese
There's a
food.
lot of Chinese food. We just emptied out. We just emptied out one pung privates.
I'm just happy to see Minervini healthy and doing the right thing. I'm happy to see you, Richie. You look good. Love you.
Look great.
All right, I'll see you guys
Anyway.
later.
All right, Richie.
Good to see you, man. Well, bye-bye.
We spend many days downstairs. We got having lunch and dinner downstairs, and we were just sitting there both saying we shouldn't eat any more fried chicken or ice cream right now. Look, all right, that's enough. We're pushing it away. Too bad.
Yeah, I don't know if you know Richie Minervini. He moved down here. He's in a fitness protection program.
Yeah, he is.
No,
Is he living down there now?
fitness protection program. He's in a fitness protection program, fellas. Come on, I'll do it till I get a fucking laugh. God damn it, Richie's gonna hate me after this anyway. No, he's laughing. We're just fucking around. Anyway,
how is the Chinese food in Florida? Is it any good?
Chinese food is it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. It'll pass.
It's not New York Chinese food, but it's good.
Yeah, it's not New York Chinese food.
That's because it's cooked in a clean kitchen.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what it is. It was cooked. It was actually prepared sanitarily.
That's why it sucks. Well, Jim, listen, this was fun, man. I told you, Jimmy was a good guest.
Jimmy, one quick question. So, when you were coming up, who was the guy that who'd you want to be like? Who influenced you when you were coming up? Who was the guy that you wanted to be like? Who was like, I gotta be like
Carlin? Absolutely, George Carlin. Carlin's always been my guy. I love the way he played with language. He kind of pulled it apart. He put it back together. I always loved Carlin because he could do something stupid like a booger joke, and then he could do something really prolific. You know, fucking's legal. Fucking's legal. Selling's legal. Why can't selling fucking be legal? You know, I just love to me, he was an Irish guy from New York. He was an Irish guy from the East Coast. And I just identify with him. And I know this is going to sound taboo, but fucking Bill Cosby is a fucking amazing fucking comedian. I mean, another guy who worked clean. I know you can't say it, but I'm going to say it. Bill Cosby was fucking great. Absolutely great.
He's another Philly guy, right? Philly guy,
and that's why I hooked in with Bill Cosby, because he was a Philly guy. But he was fucking, the guy could do 2 hours clean. And I used to listen to his albums. I used to listen to Jimmy Durante. I was lucky in the sense that I knew what I wanted to do with my life when I was 9. I remember when I was a kid, watching Charlie Chaplin. I wanted to be fucking Charlie Chaplin. I wanted to grow a toothbrush mustache, and I wanted to dye my hair black. And I remember coming home from church in the family station wagon and crying because my mom wouldn't let me be Charlie Chaplin. I wanted Charlie Chaplin. And so I don't know what the fuck it was, man. I just always was I'm the middle kid of 6 boys,
Wow.
number 3. And so I had to build an audience. My brothers are fucking amazing. They're all really funny guys in their own right. I come from a really great family, and they're always writing me jokes, and they're always going, "What do you think about this?" They always come out to my shows. And so I was just lucky that I knew what I wanted to do at an early age. And then everything else after that was just figuring out how to be able to do it. And thank God I started fucking early, because this is no fucking joke. It takes you 20 fucking years before you get as good as you want to be.
Johnny, let me get him going, Johnny. Let me get him going. So will you be going to the riots in Philadelphia when this election gets changed over?
You certainly see a difference between the two groups. You know, one group's been fucking burning and murdering and looting for the last 6 months, and they can't understand why Donald Trump got 80 million votes and fucking won in a landslide. They can't understand why. What do you mean? They're dancing in the streets, and pretty soon they're going to be having. Look, it's going to go back to Trump. It was really, it was like an election / sting operation, really, with the fucking blockchain technology and the watermarks and you know, God forbid you live in America. The thing is, if this is what they say is fucking true and all the fucking fraud is true, then America's under assault. What we fucking stand for. Look, you want to live in socialism? Go move to a socialist fucking country. All right, you don't get to change America socialist because you want to live in there's plenty of places you can go live in a socialism. Venezuela, I hear there's a lot of apartments available in Venezuela. You know, you can go dig through the dumpster for your fucking dinner like everybody else down there. I mean,
they got good Chinese food, though.
I mean, it really is. It's really a battle between fucking good and evil. And I got to tell you, you look what they did to those 15-year-old kids with that American Indian. They voxed them all. They wanted to destroy their lives. They were kids. You know, you fucking a guy like Brett Kavanaugh, by all fucking accounts, you go back to his high school and he fucking he raped me. Everybody's gonna give me a fucking bus pass. That chick couldn't get fucking fucked in a logging camp if she cooked fucking naked. I mean, she lifted up her blouse to be little bruises from where guys were hitting her with 10-foot poles. What the fuck was her name? Fucking, I mean, god damn it. She look, I don't want to get canceled. All right. Every time I do one of these podcasts, all I hear is, hey, you want to get canceled? Do you want to do our podcast? You want to get canceled? No, I don't want to get canceled. But I just
want to let you know we have a logging company as our sponsor.
Right. But, you know, it's just, it's to me, it's real fucking clear. It's real fucking clear. I mean, you know, Hunter Biden's allowed to snort coke off a fucking 10 or 11-year-old Chinese girls' asses because daddy's fucking sold out the American fucking dream to fucking China. He's over there. They got videotapes. Hey, look, fuck you, bro. Get the hard drive. Look at the stuff on the hard drive. He's over there fucking children. You know what? And that's why they want to shut fucking. He's over there fucking children. Don't think he's not. He's got a fucking.
By the way, our ratings are going up right now. We went from 10 people to 30 people.
You
I
know
can't
what?
share this now.
Listen, George Orwell said it best. You know, the further we drift from the truth, the more we hate those who speak it.
All right, Jimmy, let me ask him the question. Jimmy, what was your favorite toy growing up?
The AM/FM digital vibrator from Whammo. What? No, that doesn't. No, I like Hot Wheels when I was a kid. Like Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
I had a ventriloquist puppet. In fact, I got a ventriloquist puppet, and my dad got me a book for Christmas called Ventriloquism for Dummies.
Oh wow! I had that book.
I'm just kidding, but the whole dummy series, you know, they have the whole dummy. Oh shit! Look at that dude, bro.
How about your favorite candy?
Oh shit! I like Snickers bars.
Snickers.
Really? Okay.
Favorite TV show growing up as a kid?
The Magician with Bill Bixby.
Bill Bixby.
Wow, I don't remember that one.
Oh, you kidding me?
It was only on for
that.
2 seasons. I just ordered it on fucking eBay.
I got it.
That show used to come on at like 1 o'clock in the fucking
1 o'clock
morning.
in the morning.
Really?
And I used to have to sneak down. I used to pretend I was asleep and then sneak down to the basement and watch it. And it was only on for 26 seasons, but it was fucking great.
Was awesome.
I just got all 26 episodes. I'm gonna go home and watch it.
I got him. I've
watched for you.
And the guy drove a Corvette.
I started out as a magician, Johnny. That's how
He's a good magician. Really good magician.
Really?
Yes.
Oh man! So one of these days I got to get.
I'm a magician member at the Magic Castle.
I am not, but I got great chops in magic and all kinds of magic. But more importantly, though, the Magician with Bill Bixby. When I saw it as a kid, I thought it was the greatest thing because he was a.
How did I miss that?
I don't know how you met. He was cool. He had a Corvette and it said Spirit, and he could change the plate in the back. And whenever he got in a problem, he would use the magic to get out of the whatever.
Dude, he would produce the candle and he would set it by the gas valve, and then he'd pull out one of his steel playing guards, and it would hit the thing, and flames would come shooting out, and he would get out. It was fucking great.
Later on, he became
pro. Now I got something to watch.
There you go. All right.
Favorite movie. Favorite movie.
Ooh, on Godfather. I'd have to go with Godfather 1.
Godfather 1, and favorite band.
First person to bring that up, by the way.
Aerosmith.
Yeah.
What is it?
Favorite band?
Aerosmith.
Yeah, me too. I'm a Kiss guy, but Aerosmith right there.
No, they're like the American Rolling Stones. Anyway, listen, you guys have been great, man. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thanks for coming, Jimmy.
Thrill. Hey, Jimmy,
thanks a lot.
Good to finally meet you, even though it's electronically. I've heard so much about you over the years.
Jimmy.
You know, it's funny. There's a guy named Johnny Peasy in Boston who's one of my great friends and a super great guy and an unbelievable fucking magician as well.
I met him once at the Regatta, just once, and
he's a
hung out a little
sweetheart.
bit.
And it's
Nice
so
guy.
funny because you're John Peasy, he's Johnny Peasy. He goes, people get us fucking confused all the fucking time.
I was at the Montreal Comedy Festival years ago, and some woman comes up and goes, "You're just as funny as they told me," and she gives me this big hug, and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And she thought I was John Peasy eating his little mate. All right, Jimmy, enjoy. Thank
Jimmy,
you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in, brother. Peace.
Just real quick, where do we see Jimmy Shubert? You want to know where to get him? You get him where?
My new special is available on my website, jimmyshubert.com. You can also go check out my album just dropped on the iTunes. It's also called Zero Tolerance. You can pick that up. And,
okay. Twitter and Facebook.
Follow me on all the socials. You can all just go to jimmyshubert.com. It'll take you everywhere. Go exploring. Bingo. You guys are awesome, man.
Thank you, Jimmy. You're the best.
John, great meeting you.
Stay well,
Enjoy
bro.
your weekend.
See you guys later.
Thank you.
Peace.
That guy is energetic, huh?
Oh my God! I told you.
And he's eating his little mate as he's checking out.
He had enough. He was hungry.
He just clicked off. He's like, he's gone. So anyway, you guys want to see him? JimmyShubert.com for him, and we are.
Funny guy, man.
You know, somebody just wrote in the thing a few minutes ago. What's the topic tonight, guys?
Comedians.
Yeah,
get here earlier.
Oh God, it's so funny.
Yeah, I got to tell you, with Jimmy, and I got to tell you, the way we met is because of the political views that we have the same. And he reached out to me one time. He goes, "When are you gonna hire me?" And I said, "Well, you know, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this, but you're probably bigger than that." And he was like, "I'm in. What day?"
See,
and that was it.
That's a guy who just likes to work.
Yeah, I saw him down at the Borgata one time with Kevin Downey Jr. He introduced me, and me and Jimmy been friends ever since.
So cool. Well, you can see us. Get us, folks. YouTube.com/coolcrapweloved, and also on Facebook it's Facebook.com/coolcrapweloved. And we'll be back next week. It won't be Wednesday next week because I got something going on. It'll be a different day. I'm not sure what day during the week.
Right. People follow us. I don't know if I can share this show now.
Well, you can catch me over here, johnpeasy.com, or Walt Poops a Lot. Walt, you know
once the theater opens up, I'm going to plug the theater to come see shows up there. So once we're allowed to open up.
Well, right now, I'm not even getting political. You're right. So see you in 2023.
See you.
Thanks a lot, Walt. We can see you guys next week. It's been too much fun.
All right, brother.
Take it easy. Ciao.
Take it easy.
Hey, let's do this.
It's very funny.